Watch the real-life program about exceptional destinies, remarkable opportunities, and unbelievable facts right now.
He's standing both on the threshold of his house and on the threshold of his 100th anniversary. He's a teacher with a capital T. The first president of Kazakhstan was among the school graduates he had taught. He was a frontline soldier and trained snipers during the war. You should always be self-possessed and calm. Seitkhan Isayev is grateful to his destiny for everything. The history teacher's historic school graduates. The oldest teacher of Kazakhstan is 100. What's the secret of his life? It was a merchant's house of a Cossack stanitsa in Kaskelyen. The house was built in 1928, so it's a dozen years younger than him. The house is sturdy and looks diligent like a good pupil. The oldest teacher of Kazakhstan has lived in this house for over half a century. We've reconstructed it. It's warm and dry now, and we worked on the construction ourselves. He offers to enjoy the smell of spring. The garden, annexes, and greenery are in order. He says that the same order should be in the head. Go there. Smell this. The smell is really good. It's called lilac. For his thoroughness and order, Seitkhan Akhmetovich is called a Kazakh German in Kaskelyen. He laughs at this. They just joke because I try to introduce something new and maintain tidiness and order. Many people visit me and ask how I find time to do it all. I answer that my children do it, and I give them advice. Look, my eldest daughter saw it somewhere and bought it. It's a Chinese lantern, which charges from the sun and provides light at night.
Старший дочь где-то встретил и купил этот заряжающийся солнце, а ночью свет дает.
He was born in the autumn of the year when the Tsar was overthrown in Russia. This led neither to a snowstorm or hurricane, but to the revolution. Seitkhan's parents connected his birth with this event. He doesn't know the exact date. The point is, first, the population's literacy was quite low at the time. Second, there weren't any state institutions, which recorded who was born, who passed away, and so on. Shall we have a look at the grapes? Oh, I forgot a long time ago. There were no such vineyards in his hometown located in the Karaganda region. He's remembered since childhood how they grazed cattle, disassembled yurts in the autumn, and moved to the other shore of the Balkhash. He didn't even dream of going to school. He got this opportunity only after a copper smelter was built there, and a 3-year-old school was attached to it. Seitkhan became a first former at the age of 15. I remember that was in 1932. One of the years of the famine. Then I finished 3rd form, where I studied in Kazakh, in Balkhash. After that, my father brought me to Alma-Ata in 1935. Very few passenger trains ran at that time. Thus, we took a freight train and arrived in Alma-Ata. This is a photo from the family album. It shows what he looked like when he arrived in Almaty to study at Rabfak. Rabfak was a workers' faculty, a course of studies in the Soviet Union. Workers and peasants studied there to prepare for entering higher education institutions. They operated from 1919 until the mid-30s. He finished Rabfak 3 years later and entered the Pedagogical Institute, where he studied in the history faculty. They knew only history. People in villages didn't know other subjects, such as mathematics, physics, and so on. Probably, one of my relatives said that it was necessary to know the history of the homeland. The history of the homeland is connected with his. Seitkhan Akhmetovich, his children and grandchildren planted everything in this garden. It's the third generation of these trees. He says he did everything correctly and followed the instructions given in books. Now he gets an excellent crop. Then I had 2 or 3 books called Books for Gardeners. There I read what sorts were good and suitable for the Almaty region. This is a winter strain of pears. Seitkhan has a lot of grandchildren and great-grandchildren too, 16 to be exact. During celebrations, they gather at a large table. A big portrait of his wife and of him hangs on the wall. They spent 65 years together and brought up 5 children together. She was feisty while I was calm. She was feisty and very literate. During the war, Nurgain Kameyeva was a radio operator. She flew in a low-flying attack aircraft and parachuted. She carried out reconnaissance missions. Her aircraft was a Polikarpov U-2. A pilot helped her to understand the materials of the aircraft. Her other task was collecting information. She did it and informed the government on time. I returned earlier, and she did half a year later, since she had to train a radio operator and attack aircraft pilot. When the war began, Seitkhan was in his 4th year. He says he was very grateful for being allowed to get a degree early. He spent 3 weeks on preparation, submitted his work, and the next day was in the military registration and enlistment office. It was wartime. Now, I suppose that the Komsomol organization sent the 4-year students, but at that time, I didn't try to find it out. They were sent to the army to protect the capital city. He was sent to Turkmenistan. He finished military school and became a lieutenant. Then he found himself in sniper school, where he trained 16-year-old teenagers. They were trained to serve in the reserve. You'll be with them from morning until evening. Wake them up in the morning, feed them, and after that, start teaching. So, it was similar to being a nursery school teacher. He had 300 students, 300 snipers. He says it wasn't easy. Work with optics required special skills. He mastered them together with his students. First, discipline had to be maintained, because a sniper had to be attentive and careful. Second, it was necessary to train them to fight. We spread wire for 2 or 3 kilometers and attached the targets to it. They were shaped like rabbits, dogs, or sheep. The snipers were lying there, aimed and shot. We taught them to hit a target. First, they couldn't take aim, even using the optics. He was sent to the front in 1943. The Soviet Army military operation in which Lieutenant Isayev took part was known as the Battle of the Dnieper in history. Their aim was not to allow the enemy to consolidate their hold on the western river bank. The Battle of the Dnieper was one of the most significant conflicts in the world history and the greatest loss for Hitler's army. About 4 million people were involved in the battle, which stretched on for 750 kilometers. Seitkhan was appointed as platoon commander, but he couldn't swim. The political instructor in front of the ranks explained that their comrade did not have combat experience, so everyone was responsible for him. Their conversation in private was short. You are in charge of every soldier. If you don't manage it, what will be in front of you? I didn't know that. He meant military tribunal and court. I didn't know the word military tribunal either. Of course, I was frightened and did my best. They made a reed raft for the commander and started crossing at night. To tell the truth, I was terrified when they helped me get into the reed boat. I didn't think I would see a German. They crossed the river without losses. Isayev was awarded the Order of the Patriotic War, second class, for the Battle of the Dnieper. After receiving a second wound, he was invalided out. He celebrated Victory Day in the town of Issyk, where he became a military leader and then a headmaster. In 1948, Seitkhan was appointed as Director of Studies in Kaskelian boarding school, where he worked for over 50 years. Later, a school was closed in Chemolgan village and pupils were sent to study in Kaskelian. As a result, he became Nursultan Nazarbayev's teacher. This is a photo of the 21st graduation class of pupils. It's the only photo made during Seitkhan's teaching career. He says Nursultan Nazarbayev took this photo and then went to the city to develop it. He was a very good and active pupil. This is the school leaving certificate issue book of 1958. Nursultan Nazarbayev is number 16. In the 1990s, Seitkhan read in a newspaper that as soon as a president was re-elected, the museum of the head of state was open on the very same day. It was a custom abroad. It was the reason why he went to the President of Kazakhstan. I told him about it and asked why we couldn't do the same. We hadn't had a president before. I asked if he minded. He laughed and said it was still early for him. The first president of Kazakhstan's museum has been in the building of Abay boarding school for almost 20 years. It's the House of Culture in Kaskelian. The oldest teacher of Kazakhstan is now 100. He worked with 3 generations over 75 years of his teaching career. He says that the first pre-war generation was notable for strong discipline. The second strove for knowledge and absorbed new information. The new generation is rich in talented people, but many of them lack patience. In Seitkhan Akhmetovich's opinion, a lot depends on teachers. When I have free time, I always visit them, the headmaster, talk to teachers, ask for advice, enter some classes and meet pupils. When there are some celebrations or events at the school, they always inform me about it and invite me along. However, this celebration is held only in his honor. His favorite pupil congratulated him too. Seitkhan Isayev is accepting congratulations and not getting tired of saying thank you. He says he's happy and grateful to his destiny for every day he's lived.